What is up, Retromaniacs? My name is Mike. His name is EP. His name is Joe. We're not here to give you one. We're not here to give you two. We're here to give you 3 cards for your retro PC. I'm starting it off again. You know, I try to find fancy looking cards, weird insert sets that nobody remembers. This week, I'm kind of boring. I'm going with a base card. I am going with the 1998. This is hard to see in here, but Payton Manning Fleer Brilliance rookie card. I love Fleer Brilliance. I don't like it. Just kind of hit me relatively recently that like these cards are incredible. Like they really weren't super popular back in the day. They sold okay. You know, people were kind of interested in them, but they kind of get lost in the shuffle. You know, Fleer had a lot of really cool stuff that came out like in the late 90s and early 2000s, but like they were kind of floundering at the time and they were struggling to find their way to compete with the other card manufacturers at the time. So they were kind of just throwing stuff at the wall and really not giving stuff a lot of time. And, you know, Fleer Brilliance, I mean, it's brilliant, right? Like that card is just a beautiful card. They're kind of popular because the golds out of those are one of those rare parallels from the 90s that people have latched onto that want to go back. So I don't know what the boxes cost. I'm sure they're a fortune just because of that. But but this particular card, Payton Manning, you know, Hall of Famer, one of the best quarterbacks that ever played the game. This is like a $10 card for his rookie card. Yeah. And, you know, one of many base cards that you can get of him for like $10 and under. It's sad. Like we remember the who is the greatest quarterback? Is it Tom Brady or is it Peyton Manning debate? Like that was really a thing. Like now with hindsight, with Brady winning the Super Bowls and stuff, like he's considered the GOAT, but Peyton Manning was every bit as good as Tom Brady. Like, I'm sorry.
Have him switch teams. Have him switch teams.
Yeah.
Put Peyton Manning on the Patriots. And I love Tom Brady. You know I do.
Yeah.
Put Peyton Manning on the Patriots. How many Super Bowls does that dude have?
And you know, when Peyton Manning hurt his neck, like they went 0-16 or 1-15 the year. So like that was where you really saw the difference he made. Like he was one guy that made a huge difference in the team. So I've always been a huge Peyton Manning fan. I mean, he's just so entertaining to watch even to this day. The guy is so funny. His brother too. Like they're
brother's
great.
The straight man in that.
But so funny. I love it. So yeah, that's my card this week. $10. You got to pick that one.
I want to make a point before EP gives his card about Peyton Manning. It's kind of crazy how we always talk about how, it's a quarterback-driven, hobby, like Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, and you have to. No one collects and no one puts value on any other players. If that's true, how is a Peyton Manning rookie card that's so nice only $10? That tells you, sure, Justin Herbert, spend the money on him now, sell them quickly if you can make any money on them, because one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and he's not the only one, Drew Brees too. We talked about him numerous times. These great quarterbacks 10 years later aren't worth anything. So yeah, just be cognizant of that as you're collecting these high-end quarterbacks from today.
All right, EP, what do you have for us this week?
Well, first off, I want to say that I don't have a Vince Carter Fleer Brilliance rookie card, and that's one that I definitely am going to be shooting to try to get. Like that's one of my favorite sets.
Have one.
Oh, really? Interesting. All right.
Trade.
Sounds like I have a relatively expensive card for me today, which but I was like
$2.
Whenever I know when I pick out a card for this, I'm going through my stuff and I was like, I've the last 2 weeks, maybe it was the last 3 weeks, I found cards where I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's too expensive. Doesn't really fit into what I would really push. But this set is just too cool. It's the 1996-97 Fleer Ultra Fresh Faces insert set, die cut insert set. Now this card, last one of these sold raw for $60.
Wow.
And we can get them for like 30. They also sold for like 30 to 35 in like November as well. The Kobe Bryant's $200 raw and $4,000 in a PSA 10. So, but this one, this is the one I pulled from a pack. Almost all mine are pulled from packs, and there you can see the back. But it's just a really, really cool set. The you can get some of the lesser players like Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Marcus Camby for $5-6. You can get Steve Nash for like $20. But it's a really, really cool set from a time. We talked a lot about 90s inserts, and I think like 96, 97, 98 basketball inserts are just like off the charts with so much different stuff. And it's easily one of my favorite cards. I remember pulling it out of the pack and being so excited when I got it. And it was an Iverson card, which I was always a big fan of Iverson, living here in Pennsylvania, watching the 76ers. So
that card is incredible. I love that. I will totally trade you the Vince Carter Brilliance rookie for that. Oh, maybe I'll give you your whole stack of cards I have back here.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
A live deal.
Yeah, it's
on the channel.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys know how much I love die cuts. So I'm all in. I love Allen Iverson. I'm going to start collecting more of his stuff. I need some of him in my PC. So yes, that is a great card.
And it's no shock that the PSA 10s of those cards are so expensive because die cuts are so hard to grade. So yeah, and I think we'll give partial credit to anyone who's completing the full set of the 3-card, the retro card chat 3-card collection. If they get one of the cheaper versions of that card, if they get one of the lesser players, you don't need to get the Iverson. You can get one of the $2 or $3 or $5 card.
Ray Allen's like $12, and he had a really great career. Stephon Marbury, I think, is like $6, and he had a really great career too. So yeah, there's some good players out there. Yeah,
awesome. All right, Joe, wrap us up this week.
All right. So I opened up. It's kind of weird, by the way. All 3 of us are doing Fleer cards this week.
Oh, 3 for 3, baby.
Yeah.
I thought about that.
We're going to call it Theme Week.
We love Fleer.
We love Fleer. So it's going to be on the channel here at some point in 2024. I ripped a box of 1994 Marvel Universe. It was the first year Fleer did it.
It might be on in 2024.
It might be on in 2024. Fingers crossed. But they had such cool inserts, and one of my favorite are the suspended animation acetate cards. I would show you physically, but it's in a binder, and I'm not pulling it. I'm not pulling it out. So the one I picked, and if you watch the pod this week, you'll know it's kind of in honor of Spidey Hits. I'll talk about him on the pod a little bit. But I'm going to pick the SpiderMan suspended animation. These cards are still being made today. They're still in sets today. That's how popular they were. One of the first acetate cards that I remember, 1994. I mean, I think Collector's Edge had like the thinner acetate cards as well.
Classic had some too. Yeah,
Classic had some, but this was like a mainstream comic book product with acetate cards, something different than the usual holograms that they had, which was really, really neat. You got like 3 or 4 in a box, so they weren't super rare. You can pick up the Spider-Man for $8 shipped on eBay. I mean, it's it's a great card. They have other characters. Wolverine's in there. I think they have all the members of the Fantastic Four in there in that set as well. It's a 10-card set. But Spider-Man's the one I went with. It's probably the most expensive of the group, you would think. Maybe him or Wolverine. But $8 shipped. I mean, you can't beat it. The acetate cards are tough. I would just get a raw one. Don't get one graded because they have all the scratches on them. It looks great in a sleeve and a top load. It looks great in a binder. Don't worry about getting it graded. But suspended animation, just a cool set.
I had quite a few of those I found when I went through my stuff that was left over from the shop, and I think I sold every single one on eBay. They're pretty popular, even though they're not a very expensive card.
For sure.
All right, guys, 3 great choices this week, and we will be back next week. See you guys.
See you, boys.
See ya.